Impeachment crisis deepens as death threats surge against MPs and South Korea's president battles for survival. South Korea is on the brink of political chaos as the country grapples with the fallout from President Yoon Suk-yeol's failed attempt to impose martial law. The speed at which events have unfolded in the past week has left even seasoned journalists struggling to keep up. The speed at which events have unfolded in the past week has left even seasoned journalists struggling to keep up. A dramatic power grab by the president last Tuesday, swiftly crushed by the opposition, was barely enough to make headlines before it was defeated. From an initially contrite leader hoping to avert impeachment, Yoon's rhetoric has turned increasingly defiant. Now banned from leaving the country while under investigation for treason, a crime punishable by death, he faces a second impeachment vote this weekend. Support from his own party is rapidly eroding, and the tens of thousands of protesters filling the streets each night grow louder in their demands for his removal. At one point, it appeared Yoon might agree to step down in exchange for avoiding impeachment in last Saturday's vote. But as the week wore on, it became clear that the president had no intention of resigning. On Thursday, he dug in his heels, declaring, "I will fight until the end." His speech, however, was filled with rambling conspiracy theories, including the unfounded suggestion that North Korea may have meddled in the country's previous election. Describing the opposition as dangerous and Parliament as a monster, Yoon claimed his decision to declare martial law was necessary to protect democracy itself. Behind closed doors, the situation is equally dire. Yoon's party, the People Power Party, PPP, is struggling to maintain control as it faces increasing pressure to impeach the president. Initially loyal to Yoon, many MPs are now distancing themselves from the embattled leader. On Thursday, PPP leader Han Dong-hoon finally called for the president's immediate suspension from office, admitting the impeachment process had become inevitable. To succeed, the impeachment vote requires a two-thirds majority, meaning that at least 8 ruling party members must join the opposition. A handful have already pledged to vote against the president, including Kim Sang-wook, one of the first MPs to publicly declare his support for impeachment. Kim, who now faces death threats from his conservative supporters, described South Korean politics as intensely tribal. The president is no longer qualified to lead the country. He is totally unfit, Kim told the BBC, despite the personal and professional risks involved in his defection. The public is now turning its fury toward the MPs who have shielded Yoon from accountability. Protesters, once unified in their call to impeach Yoon, are now chanting, "Impeach Yoon, dissolve the party." Thousands of lawmakers have reported receiving abusive messages, with some even receiving funeral flowers in the mail. If Yoon is impeached this weekend, his party faces political collapse. Kim Sang-wook believes the road to recovery for the PPP will be long and difficult. "We will not disappear, but we need to rebuild ourselves from scratch," he said. Now is the chance to reflect on the fact that South Korea's economy and culture are first class, but its politics are third class. Yoon's attempted power grab has severely shaken the nation's democracy. While the swift reversal of his martial law declaration was hailed as a victory for democratic institutions, the ongoing crisis reveals just how fragile the country's political system is. With the president and his party locked in a bitter struggle for survival, South Koreans are left wondering, who will lead the country and can its democracy endure this latest test?